Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Now, for the benefit of those who are not familiar with the channel or possibly watching the channel for the very first time, the reason why it's called Uncommon Sense it is because here we discuss issues and we try to find logical solutions. Unfortunately, not everyone uses logic. Well, for that reason, it is called uncommon sense. Right now, we're currently live on YouTube, Facebook, and Periscope on Twitter. Before we begin, I just want to show my appreciation to all my supporters, all my fans, and all the members of the Uncommon Folk who has supported this channel. Now, for those who did not catch last night's stream, yes, that's right. This week we reached 60 subscribers. And of course, it may not seem like a lot, but it's a milestone. And again, I always, I do appreciate everybody supporting my channel. I'm going to ask that you please subscribe, like, and hit the bell notification to all. So, therefore, whenever I do prepare content, you will have the opportunity to watch it live or you can watch it on the playback. So, this stream is going to be short. I'm going to try to keep it under 30 minutes. And it's regarding the latest travel information to the Dominican Republic. Now, why are we discussing this topic? Because the fact of the matter is, we're approaching the summer months, and during the summer months, people like to travel. And among some of the areas where people love to travel is the Caribbean. Of course, due to C-19, many people had feared to travel, but things are slowly but surely getting better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. Just give me a moment. Okay. Okay, just let's try again. Okay. What I'm going to do is, okay. And I see the Wi-Fi is acting up again. Oh, okay. Now here is the headline, and it comes from an article from Travel Off Path, and it was dated Tuesday. And as you can see, the headline: Dominican Republic officially removes all entry requirements. So let's scroll down. Okay. The Dominican Republic now joins the list of countries that have removed all pandemic-related entry requirements, becoming the 35th nation to do so. Earlier in 2022, the Dominican Republic had removed almost all of their COVID entry requirements, but kept just a few in place that still presented barriers to entry for some travelers. Notably, a random breathalyzer type COVID test was administered to unvaccinated tourists, while arrivals from a handful of countries like the UK still needed to bring a PCR to enter. Okay. However, this week, all the entry requirements have now been officially removed. Tourists, regardless of nationality, who are not fully vaccinated against COVID are no longer subject to any testing upon arrival in the Dominican Republic, as the country fully lists all pandemic related restrictions at its international airports. Excuse me. Let me just scroll this down further. Excuse me. Just get bear with me. Although the Korean nation did not require Americans, Canadians, or other visitors to present basic vaccination certificates or negative pre-departure tests, it did perform random tests on passengers, especially those with classic COVID symptoms. Okay, now I'm going to scroll down. While vaccinated travelers can bypass testing when selecting proof of vaccinated, the unvaccinated were not so lucky. And those with active infection will issue orders. Now, this measure no longer applies. The Dominican Republic is one of those rare destinations that welcome tourists from all over the world. And the need arose. It has remained consistently open for visitors. Okay, now I'm going to scroll this down a little bit further. Caribbean and established the DR still excess COVID variants could be trained on the health system. One of those measures retained was the random PCR breath testing of Okay. Oops. Okay, I apologize. It seems like the Wi-Fi is acting up again. But let me just summarize what the article was talking about. Basically, most of the mandates that had existed in the DR has been eliminated. The only thing is you need to fill out certain forms prior to arrival. Nevertheless, for U.S. citizens, they still 24 hours before returning to the United States, they have to show a negative result of COVID-19. So that's something to think about. Okay. Now, some people may still decide not to travel to the DR or travel anywhere. I mean, that's perfectly fine. Okay, that's perfectly fine. And the bottom line is you need to be comfortable. But for me, um, eventually I'm going to be traveling, I'm going to be flying. Of course, I'm going to do everything I can to minimize my exposure to C-19. So, and of course, the State Department has issued the following guidelines for people traveling to the Dominican Republic. They're asking U.S. citizens to please be mindful of their surroundings. Um, do not venture into unknown areas. If anyone wishes to rob you, do not resist. Um, and do not exhibit especially expensive items. Okay? Because unfortunately, when you do that, you make yourself an easy target. That is the reality. And again, I do apologize for some reason. Um, the string went blank, um, but that's the latest information. Um, Now, obviously, most of the people are going to catch this on the playback, which is fine. And I encourage everyone to, after the stream is over, to enter your comments. What I do ask, as always, when you enter your comments, please be respectable, okay? Because any negative commentary, what's going to happen is it will be removed, and those who actually write negative comments or nasty comments will be blocked. That being said, um, before we go, we're going to have another episode of What the Heck is This? Just give me a moment. What the heck moment has to do with Congressperson Marjorie Taylor Greene. And what is the issue? The issue is that she had stated that the Catholic Church was ruled by Satan. Why? I'm glad to tell you why. Now, Governor Abbott what he has done is the refugees that have entered into Texas. What he has done, he moved them to Washington D.C. He allegedly paid their way to go there and provided food and whatnot. So what happened is you have a bunch of refugees in our nation's capital. So what Catholic Charities decided to do? They're going to do the humane thing. They provided with temporary housing. They gave them clothing. They gave them food. If they needed to go to another destination other than DC, they will pay for their way. So, in other words, what Catholic Charities has done is basically what the Bible talks about: feeding the hungry, clothing the naked, helping the oppressed. And for doing all that, Marjorie Taylor Greene stated that the Catholic Church was run by Satan. This is coming from a person that has not done one piece of legislation during her time in Congress. She has spent her time being a supporter of Donald Trump and being a general nuisance. Okay. So let me make this perfectly clear. She's entitled to her opinions, but then again, I'm entitled not to listen to them. So, as I stated last night, our next live stream will be on Sunday night at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, and 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. And the topic will be how to deal with grief. And we're going to have Tim Delgado again, who's going to share his clinical expertise. Because the fact of the matter is, sooner or later, we'll all have to deal with the death of a loved one, whether it be a family member, a close friend, a child, or a spouse. So we're going to get a clinical review on how to deal with grief. Also, next Wednesday at 8:30 p.m., I'm going to be live and I'm going to conduct another interview with another YouTube creator. Her name is Sanson Santon. So we're going to learn some interesting facts about her. And I'm going to be asking some questions. And then if you have any questions for Sanson Santon, you have an opportunity to put it in the chat. Or you can join the panel and ask the questions directly. Again, like I said, please keep it respectful. And I do appreciate all the support that I have received. And I'm going to bring this video to a close. And I thank you very much for your time. I thank you for allowing me to enter into your devices because you did not have to do so. There are so many different YouTube creators, and the fact that you allowed me to share what little wisdom I have, I really do appreciate it. So we're going to close the same way we always close. Do not let the errors of the past damage your future. And we must do everything possible to minimize our contact with the mentally and intellectually challenged, because if we fail to do so, we will be infected by their stupidity and massive insanity. That being said, this has been another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. I thank you very much. Good night and peace out.
Be strong.